We are going to be doing lesson 15 in Mysteries and Investigations. So you will be here on your home page and make sure that you have a separate tab where you are logged into Amplify. You're going to click here on 6B, Mysteries and Investigations. You're going to click The Secret of the Yellow Death and come all the way down to lesson 15, the Yellow Fever Challenge today. You're going to start off by doing the vocabulary app. So you'll click on card 1 and it will take you to the vocab app when you click here. You're going to complete that. I know our vocab words are building up, so we're going to stay in that app for 5 minutes today, or when you complete the task, whichever comes first, and then you're going to come over here to card number 2. Before we read this newspaper article, we're going to review some key features. Number 1, what is the headline or the title of the article? You can write that in this box here. Number 2, where was the newspaper article written? So it's dateline. Write that in this box here. When was the article published? What is the name of the publication for number 4? And is the source credible? So you will write yes or no in that box there. Number 6, based on the article headline, what do you predict that this newspaper article will be about? Write that here in box number 6. After you've completed all of those questions, you will come over here and you will read the article, or you will listen to the audio by pressing this button and follow along with the reading by using the scroll down. After you are finished, press hand in, and we will go over to card number 3. We're going to identify the central idea of the article. So we're going to listen as the introductory paragraphs are read aloud. Then we're going to select the paragraphs that contain the central idea of the article. So yellow fever circles Brazil's huge cities. Sao Paulo. Good morning, a loudspeaker blared recently in the working class Sao Paulo suburb called Jardim Monte Alegre. We've got your yellow fever vaccine, and today we're going house to house. You better wake up because mosquitoes never sleep. Or B, 20 health workers piled out of cars. Though they laughed and chatted with locals, their mission was deadly serious. C, Brazil is suffering its worst breakout of yellow fever in decades. The virus, which kills 3% to 8% of those who are infected, is now circling the mega cities of Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, threatening to become this country's first blown urban epidemic since 1942. Or D, although there have only been 237 deaths since the hot season began, the fatality rate will explode if this virus reaches the slums and clouds the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes swarming there. So you're choosing which paragraph contains the central idea of the article that we read on the previous page. Click that now. When you're done, you can press next, and it will take you to number 2. It says analyze the feeling conveyed in the opening paragraphs of the article. Highlight, then answer 2 questions. So what is the feeling that is conveyed in the opening paragraphs? Highlight what you think the feeling is. And then the poll. Based on just these verbs, how serious does the threat of yellow fever feel to the reader? Easily defeatable, meaning that you can overcome it. Defeatable, somewhat serious, serious, or deadly serious. Choose now. Number 2, do these introductory paragraphs convince you that the health worker's mission was deadly serious? From paragraph 4, explain your answer using evidence from the text. So you're going to use evidence from this article to decide if you were convinced that the health worker's mission was deadly serious. So you're going to say yes or no and use evidence to support your answer. When you're finished with that, you will press hand in. Remember to be pausing the video when you are completing the questions. After you hand in, you're going to come over to card 4. We're going to identify the 3 causes presented in the article for yellow fever, the threat in Brazil. Number 1, to head off a catastrophe, health officials are struggling to vaccinate 23 million people. Based on the image of yellow fever presented in this article, what do you think catastrophe means? A, a terrible event that causes great destruction or suffering. B, a very helpful or valuable event. C, an enormous surge in the number of mosquitoes breeding in a single season. Or D, an extremely long line in front of a medical facility or clinic. Choose your answer now on what you think catastrophe means. Number 2, highlight the 3 main causes of the current threat of yellow fever outbreak in Brazil, according to the article. So you're going to come over to your article and you're going to find the 3 main causes and you're going to highlight them using the highlight feature that we've been using throughout this curriculum. So you'll highlight, I'm not saying this is the answer, I'm showing you the highlight feature. Highlight what you want and then actually press the highlight button. And then number 3, based on the information in paragraph 12, select the image that best illustrates the unusual movement of the yellow fever virus in 2016. So image A, got these downward arrows for movement. B, they're kind of going up into the left. Or C, it's going this way as well as this way. Choose your answer and press hand in. We will then go to card 5. We will analyze how a particular feature of a newspaper article fits into the overall structure of the text and contributes to the development of ideas. So one technique that writers use to bring a topic to life is including quotations that make an impact. We're going to read the following passage and answer 3 questions to analyze how the writer uses a quote to develop and refine the story of the yellow fever outbreak in Brazil. So passage 1. Sao Paulo. Good morning, a loudspeaker blared recently in the working class Sao Paulo suburb called Jardim Monte Alegre. We've got your yellow fever vaccine, and today we're going house to house. You better wake up because mosquitoes never sleep. 20 healthcare workers piled out of cars. Though they laughed and chatted with locals, their mission was deadly serious. What information is provided by the quote in this passage? So again, you're going to look for those quote marks. These are quote marks right here. What information did they let the people of the city know in that quote? And is the speaker of the quote a strong source? Why or why not? And how does the quote help the reader develop this section of the article? How does the quote help the reader develop this section of the article? So what's happening within this quote? Pause the video and answer now. Then you're going to click next. Read the following passage to analyze how the writer uses quotes to develop or refine your story of the yellow fever outbreak in Brazil. So we're going to come back over here, and we now have a different passage. I don't think there were mistakes or delays, said Dr. Renato Vieira Alves, the ministry's communicable disease coordinator. You can't launch new vaccination campaigns in an instant. Well, the caseload is higher than last year's. It is only a fraction of the population at risk, he argued. Most of the new cases are occurring in areas where, until now, we didn't recommend immunization, he said. So what information is provided by the quotes in this passage? So we're going up again, we're finding where there are quote marks, and we're seeing what information is provided within those quotes. Answer that in the box here. Is the speaker of the quotes a strong source? Why or why not? It says that he is the ministry's communicable disease coordinator. Do you think that that is a strong source of information? Why or why not? And how does the quotes help the writer develop the main idea of the article? So what it's mainly about, how are those quotes contributing to that? Write your answer for number 6 and press hand in. After you press hand in, it's going to take you to card 6. Imagine you are a group of World Health Organization workers. It is your job to understand and prevent the spread of deadly diseases. Number 1, discuss the 3 causes of the current threat of yellow fever outbreak in Brazil cited in the article. And then you're going to select one to focus on. So, Of course, if you're at home, you're not doing this in a group setting, you're doing this on your own. And you're going to pick which one, A, B, or C, that you're going to choose. So we have A, government missteps, B, false rumors, or C, the changing pattern of the virus. So you're going to select one to focus on. And we are trying to understand and prevent the spread of the deadly disease. Coming down to 3, we're going to use information in the article to outline the key facts and details that explain the cause in the table below. So here is the key information or details about the cause, right in these boxes, and then a quote or fact from the article. And that will be written in these boxes. How does the cause, for number 4, how does the cause contribute to the current threat of a yellow fever outbreak? So whatever one you chose, you are writing how it contributes to the current threat of a yellow fever outbreak. After you complete number 4, you'll press next. If you're at home, you're going to go ahead and skip number 2 on card 6. And you're going to come all the way over to the exit ticket in number 8. So for the exit ticket, you are going to answer both questions. You're going to read the sentence from paragraph 36 of Yellow Fever's Circles Brazil's Huge Cities. I saw a video on WhatsApp with a girl who said she was paralyzed after taking the vaccine. Number 1. Which choice best describes what role this sentence has in developing the article? A. It provides a description of the government missteps that have left millions of Brazilians unvaccinated. B. It is an example of the false rumors that have made many Brazilians suspicious of the yellow fever vaccine. C. It is an illustration of the impact that the change in the virus pattern has had on the country of Brazil. So you're choosing A, B, or C based on this quote here. Second, read this sentence from paragraph 17 of Yellow Fever Circles Brazil's Huge Cities. This year's caseload is 26% higher than at this time last year. And with more hot, rainy months ahead, the figure is destined to increase. Which answer option best describes what role this sentence has in developing the article? A. It provides a description of the government missteps that have left millions of Brazilians unvaccinated. It gives an example of the false rumors that have made many Brazilians suspicious of the yellow fever vaccine, or it is an illustration of the impact that the change in the virus pattern has had on Brazil. When you are finished, press hand in, and you will have lesson 15 completed.